Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. We are so happy to have you here as we continue to grow. We are also live streaming on Business Talk Radio as well. Our show today is Secrets to Timeless Beauty, and I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. My co host has been away for a while. I am so happy to have her back. She is a holistic transformation and wellness expert, and her name is KATRINA VALENTE. Let's welcome her to the program. Hello.
Hi, lovely to be here.
So nice to see you. I've missed you.
I know. Time is flying by. I can't believe it's the middle of April already.
I can't believe it either. And for people who are just joining us, you are in Dubai.
I am back in Dubai, yes. I had a quick trip to England to see my brother and sister. It's been nearly 3 years. So, yeah, all good.
I saw a lot of fitness training going on while you were there.
Yeah, my sister's big into fitness as well. So we did a few sessions together.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm so glad that you're back. You look amazing and you have so much to share with our audience. So, before we get into our discussion topic for today, I'm going to spotlight you. And if you could give our audience a little bit of background about who you are and what it is that you do.
So I am a holistic therapist. I have been in the anti-aging business for 28 years, but the last few years I'm doing a lot more coaching and healing and clearings and tarot readings. I've lived in Dubai for 24 years and I travel the world as an international visiting practitioner, anti-aging expert and healer.
And KATRINA, thank you so much for sharing that. You talked just a second ago about clearings. What are clearings?
So I work with charts. It's very esoteric, but it's very powerful. I do it online. You don't have to be in front of me. And we're working through 8 different energy bodies and 6 different levels of consciousness through all your past lives. So you give me something that you want to clear to do with relationship, career, money, or health, and then I work on the charts to clear it for you.
Does it happen right away?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the chart, it tells me when it will integrate in your energy body and when you will feel the physical shift. And it's usually within 1 day.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
exciting. Oh my goodness. So for people to start on this journey, this path, they need to contact you right away. What's the best way for them to do that?
They can contact me on my website. It's just my name, katrinavalente.com. I'm on Instagram, katrinavalente1, and Facebook, also just my name.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you've shared so many really important tips when it comes to anti-aging. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different in that it's not something, it's not a treatment, it's not a cream, it's not something we can purchase in a store. It's how we can definitely directly live a longer, healthier life when it comes to controlling our relationships and the people we let into our circle. So, you and I have talked before about narcissists and people who manipulate and control. What happens when we are under someone else's spell, so to speak, or psychologically being harmed in a relationship?
Well, unfortunately, you are what you attract. So you always attract what you need to learn. And when we're in these toxic, narcissistic relationships, it's very, very difficult to see the light when you're actually in it yourself. It's not until you leave it, in hindsight, you see, oh my gosh, why did I stay there for so long? But if you can look at things with what's the word? If you could always keep asking yourself, what is this teaching me? When you point one finger, 3 point back at you. So if your partner is doing something that you don't like, ask yourself, why don't I like it? And where is this within me? Otherwise, you would never recognize it, because what you see in another is also within you. And that's the way it is,
That's
it's a
deep.
hard lesson. It is, yeah.
So when we recognize that there's something in our relationship that doesn't feel good or isn't working, should we address it with the other person or should we just pack up our stuff and go?
No, I mean, communication is everything. I mean, I've been working a lot with relationships the last few years, and you know, the common theme is that people do not communicate their needs and their wants. And especially if you've been in a long relationship, it's all about assumption. And one thing I've learned is that assumption is always a lie, always. So never assume anything. Always ask, get clarity, get confirmation. And that's really a good place to start.
I love that, Katrina. When we start in a new relationship with someone, should we put it all out on the table to begin with that, this is what we're looking for, this is who we are, this is what's worked in the past, this hasn't worked in the past, or do we just sort of let things show up as we go along?
No, I mean, look, it depends where you are in your life. Obviously, when you're younger, you're carefree and it doesn't really matter. But as we get older, if you're looking for a serious relationship, then you have to be upfront immediately because then you're not wasting time. You know, people show you who they are very, very quickly. Within the first 2 or 3 meetings, you know who someone is. But a lot of the time, women just don't want to address it. Women are very good at fantasizing, at creating a false reality based on their own needs and wants rather than what's actually standing in front of you.
I'm actually laughing inside because I have done that so many times. The person shows you who they are, and I think to myself, or shows me who they are. Oh, I can get them to change. This will be okay. I won't have to deal with this that long. And no, that's not what happens. It's like they're showing you, hey, here I am, accept me or not. But so many times, to your point, we actually think we can change the person. We do have a comment, by the way, and it's from someone on YouTube, Adrian Kerr. Hello, good evening, ladies. Nice to have you.
Adrian, Adrian's one of my very good and old friends.
Well, nice to have you with us today. And it's still morning over here in the USA where I am. So good evening to you. Okay, and Adrian, if you'd like to weigh in on any comments on what we were sharing today, please feel free to type them in. Okay, so someone shows us who they are, and they're red flags immediately, right? We can see the red flags. Some of them might be, just as an example, you meet with someone the first time, the second time, and they're always on their phone.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, look, it's like I always say to people, listen to your gut instinct because your gut instinct is never wrong. If something feels right, it usually is. And if it feels wrong, it usually is. See things for what they are. Stop making excuses. Women are very good at making excuses for men. Oh, well, he was probably a bit nervous, or, he's just getting over his relationship. He'll probably be better next time. No, there are no excuses. Excuses versus results. Look at the first thing that is shown to you because honestly, 3 months down the line, you'll look back and you'll think, my goodness, I wish I'd went on my gut instinct. I mean, it's happened to me also many times. We're only just human, but it's all about learning and then not making the same mistake second time around.
very true. Now, I'd love to hear from you your thoughts and feelings. But I know for me, when I've done that, it's because there's this really strong chemistry that I have with the person. And I feel like, oh, well, we have this great chemistry. He's so hot and good looking. And I,
Sexual. I
yeah,
mean, sexual chemistry is such a it just clouds your judgment completely because we all thrive on that. Relationship is all about connection. It's all about attraction, the sexual chemistry. So it overtakes your logical thinking for all of us, men and women.
yes, very true. I remember what a mother of one of the guys that I was going out with, she said to the two of us, she said, okay, you've got this great physical connection. What are you going to do for the other 23 hours and 50 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
It's true.
you've got to ask yourself, does this person give me what I need rather than what I want? I mean, sexual chemistry does not last. You have to look at the bigger picture. Look at the person's values. Values are so important. If you don't have the same values, it's never going to work. Never, 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 not in a million years. So when you meet someone, you should ask them casually, what's your values in a relationship? A good exercise for you to do is write down 20 things. You've got to find 20 and you'll get stuck along the way. What do you value in a relationship? Loyalty, trust, laughter, generosity, whatever it is to you. And out of that 20, pick 5 things that are your top 5 things in a relationship that you must have in order for it to be successful. And get your partner to do it. And you must have 3 that are the same. Otherwise, forget it. Walk away.
Some cases run away. So, if we're in a relationship with someone and we are feeling unhappy, maybe claustrophobic, maybe suffocated, or maybe we feel sad and lonely, what are some things that we can do if we want to keep the relationship? I imagine we have to work on ourselves and then we'll get to a point where we'll just say, this isn't for me anymore.
Look, every relationship starts with you. It's like a relationship is a place to go to give things, not get things. So you have to bring your best self to the table. But that other person has to know what your expectations is in a relationship, and you both have to be on the same page and you both have to want the same things. That's so important.
Thank you, Katrina. So let's look a little bit deeper. When we're in these relationships where there's manipulation or toxicity, or we're just not connecting anymore, how can this impact our aging process physically, emotionally, spiritually?
Oh, hugely, hugely, because when you're unhappy, I mean, the face shows everything. You look sad, you know, your mouth will droop, you'll have more wrinkles, you'll be dehydrated because you'll be stressed. I mean, it's very aging. Any kind of unhappiness ages you. You know, if you look at yogis or people that practice positive thinking, they always have a clearness to their face, a brightness, a youthfulness. But when you're in a, you can tell by looking at someone if they're happy in their life or not. It's very clear.
And in the work that you do with your clients, are these some of the things that you share with them, that you can look at them and tell where they are in their life in terms of how they're feeling
Yeah.
physically and emotionally?
Yeah, and nutritionally as well. You know, there's a lot of factors that entail with that. You know, you've got, are you taking the right vitamins? Are you using the right skincare? Are you drinking enough water? What's your diet like? Are you exercising? I mean, there's lots of factors that can contribute to the way you look, good or bad.
Very true. I'm really excited. I have been inspired by people on the platform and off the platform to take my intermittent fasting that I've been doing for 5 weeks. So I've been intermittent fasting during the week for 12 hours and on the weekend 14 to 16 hours. And now I'm going 18 hours a day. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited that I've also given up wine. That's my one thing that I absolutely love is Chardonnay. And I've decided no longer. I am done with it. And I'm going to see my six pack is going to emerge. I know it is there. It is going to be coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm telling you.
I love it. I mean, you are a phenomenon. You're very slim, I think, naturally, though, no?
I have always hated my weight. I've never been happy with how I looked from a weight perspective. I'm very, very strong. So I can, I can lift heavy weights. Cardiovascular wise, I'm still in great shape. I have just started running again. I was really happy that I still have it, but I'm not as lean as I'd like to be. I'd like to be just ripped.
Yeah, but come on, Dr. Jacqueline. As we get older, it's very aging for a woman to have low body fat percentage. And you are pretty low body fat percentage. I mean, you're very tiny build. So it's
Well,
like, what
let's
do
just
you
say I'm gonna
want?
go lower. I'm not gonna go low, I'm gonna go lower. Because as I've shared before, I turned 59 in March, and I'm telling you, there's a six-pack in here somewhere. I can see the outside of it. It's gonna be showing up. We're gonna have a big
That's
party.
amazing. That's amazing. Good
Now,
for
you
you.
are big into working out as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I work out every day, 5, 6 days a week. No, it's a big part of my life. I mean, I think it's a big factor in keeping your youthful appearance, keeping your body in shape. Older women that are slim always look younger, I think. But it's more important to be fit and healthy and enjoy exercise. I mean, it's very important to enjoy it.
It's very true. And something that you hit on that I just want to go back to is as we age, if we are very thin, we look much older, I feel. It's good to have some extra skin, some muscle, because you can be really thin but not have any muscle tone and you look much older.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, as we age, atrophy sets in, and your muscles aren't as firm as they used to be, and you have to work harder. And oh, it's a nightmare. But I think supplements help a lot. I mean, if you can nail the right supplements for you, I think that makes a big difference.
I agree with you. As you know, I think it was a month ago or more, I had a very bad eczema flare, and eczema all over me.
Yes, I remember.
And I went through this whole process to get this prescription for something called Dupixent, not a paid spokesperson. And it was kind of like a 911 because your skin, it's so itchy. It's like you can hardly think because you're just so anyway, I ended up getting a doctor to give me the loading dose of it. And I said to myself, you know what? I was using this medication for 2 years and I'm really grateful because it had been all over my face. And I said to myself, I know it's something I'm eating. It's something I'm doing. It's something I'm wearing. It's something I'm putting on myself. So I stopped all the supplements and I stopped eating certain food. There's like a really healthy restaurant that's it's in the States here. I'm not going to say the name of it, but I was obsessed with the food because it's all clean food. I stopped eating it. The eczema went away. I have the medication in the refrigerator and they keep every 2 weeks. I'm supposed to be getting it and I have not needed it. Thank God. So I know that there are things that we put inside of ourselves or that we put on ourselves or we expose ourselves to that cause our immune system to be weakened, which is why I started doing this intermittent fasting and why I'm taking it to a whole new level.
I didn't even think. I should have suggested that you did a water fast, because when you're sick or you're not well, the quickest way to get better is to do a water fast because it resets your body. Intermittent fasting is the same. And they say it's really the new anti-aging way to eat. I mean, I think we overeat as a race anyway. I think food is way overrated.
Well, that's a good point. Excuse me. And when I was growing up, I believed and was exposed to the fact that food was part of entertainment. It was the reason why people got together. You were going out to dinner, you were going to an event. And I believe because of the pandemic, at least my thoughts have changed so much. And for the last 3.5 years, when I gave up caffeine, I've only been drinking water. I always have my water, not a paid spokesperson, and I would drink at night my Chardonnay. So now that I don't have the Chardonnay, I'm only drinking water. So I feel like these are all things that mentally we have the ability to adapt and change. I just started reading this book. And again, not a paid spokesperson, but we interviewed Dr. Joseph Maroon on Friday. And his book is called Square One, A Simple Guide to a Balanced Life. And he is a neurosurgeon, a triathlete, and he is also the team neurosurgeon for the Pittsburgh Steelers
Oh,
over here. He's
wow.
also the team, I don't know what the title is, but for the World Wrestling Entertainment Foundation. So he knows what he's talking about. And in here, he talks about a number of these things to help us have a longer life that, listen, we could live to be 100 years old and be drooling in a chair watching a television like a zombie. We don't want that, right? So these are all things that we're sharing here today to help people have a healthier life. So when it comes to stress and psychological abuse and being in harmful relationships, that directly is going to impact how we look and feel.
Totally, 1000%. Relationship is everything. It's what we've been put on earth for, to love and to be loved. But you have to be with a person that wants the same things as you. The quality of my life is the quality of my relationships, says Tony Robbins. And I think that's very true. And it's like when you measure what you're getting versus what you're giving, it then becomes a transaction. So that's not a good thing either to do in a relationship. Oh, well, I did that for you and you haven't done that for me. And you can't be like that. You've got to come in love. You've got to be love, and you've got to give all of yourself.
Very true. We've got to be all in and up front. We are going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with more mind-blowing conversation. So right now, let's take a moment.
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 So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. I love saying that. That's as of Friday. We now have our own radio stations as well, which is exciting. Our show today is Secrets to Timeless Beauty, and with me is a real life beauty, Katrina Valente. She is helping us understand how psychological abuse, manipulation, and control in a relationship can directly affect the aging process, how we feel, and how we look. Welcome back.
Thank you. So, one thing that I'd like to point out is that, there's a big distortion these days between the masculine and feminine, and men are no longer men and women are no longer women, and they each take on the other role. The masculine is the all doing, the all giving. The feminine is the all being and the all receiving. And the problem nowadays is that women are the doers. They work for themselves, they make their own money, they're very masculine driven in business. But when they bring that back into the relationship, it just doesn't work. So we're in a point in time, I mean, you've heard about the rise of the divine feminine, which I kind of hate, but it's true. We're in an age where women have to step back into their feminine power. And the feminine power is the receiving. You just be. You just are. You just sit and you receive and you do nothing. And you see the beauty in everything and everyone. And you give love to yourself. You nurture yourself. You take care of yourself. And when you do that, the true feminine energy comes shining through. I mean, a good example of that would be Goldie Hawn, the actress.
Yes.
And her daughter, Kate Hudson. They are very good examples of the feminine energy. And the feminine energy is actually all-encompassing and all very powerful. And, a lot of women see vulnerability as a weakness, but it's not. It's really where the strength lies. And it's something that I've had to work on myself for years and still am. But if you can be aware of it, then you can change it, because ultimately a man has to be allowed to be a man. And women nowadays just don't allow it. They just don't. And this is where the big problem is in relationships.
Can you be a little more specific when you say the women don't allow the men to be men?
Because they're men themselves. They're making the money, they're businesswomen, they're going after their careers. It's like, that's a male thing. That's male energy. So that's all good and well. But when you come back into your relationship with your partner, you have to then try and step back into your feminine energy and stop dominating your partner, stop telling him what to do, stop giving him solutions. That's all male driven behavior. And so, this is the big problem these days. Men have to be allowed to be men, and women should try and remain feminine.
I'm so glad you shared that, because that is definitely something that I've struggled with. I've always been a career woman, and now going out on my own, leaving corporate and having the businesses that I have a lot of male energy. I remember years and years ago, before I went out on my own, I remember a guy I was dating saying, "Where's the soft, sweet Jackie?" And I said, "Jackie? There's no Jackie anymore. There's JACALYN." And I've got a lot of stuff to make happen.
No, but women, I mean, you really have to play the game. Women are complicated, men are very simple. It's black or it's white. Women go round the houses, they talk too much, they explain too much. Men just want simple, clear instructions. Tell me what you want and I'll go and do it. It's like the John Gray book. It was always one of the first relationship books I read. And he says, do not use the word could to a man. Could you go and take the garbage out? That is like questioning if he can do it or not. The word to use is would you? Would you go and take the garbage out? Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, you know, you've got to, language is very important when you're talking to a man. And, you know, they don't want you to go all around the houses explaining, you know, what colors the flowers were and how many were in the bouquet. And they just want to know, what do you want? Give me one simple sentence and I'll go and do it. I always remember years ago, I dated this Marine, and he said to me, he says, you know, don't go around the houses, just tell me what you want. I'm very good at following instructions. And I never forgot that. You know, and it's true. Men are simple. They don't want hassle. They don't want to argue. They want a simple life. So women have to be the manipulators in a way. They have to understand their man. They have to understand how to get the best out of him. And they just have to play the game.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. Now I want to take an opposite viewpoint and hear what you have to say about that. So I've been in a couple of relationships where I would specifically be asked, what would you like to do for dinner? Well, I'd like to go to XYZ. No, I don't want to go there. We're going to go over here. Or what do you want for your birthday? I'd like that. I'm not spending that money. I'm going to get you this. So I don't know, mixed signals.
Yeah, I mean, look, it all comes back to you. What's presented in front of you is your own inner voice. It's how worthy are you? How deserving are you? And that's what you're going to attract. How much do you love yourself? You will never attract someone that loves you more than you love yourself. So if you want love, if you want tenderness, if you want kindness, you have to give all that to yourself first. All relationships start with you, and everything else extends from that place.
I agree. Now, we've discussed this before. I'm not interested in meeting anyone at this point in time in my life because I'm in my masculine energy, doing my thing, taking this channel to the next level. But you are interested.
I am interested, yeah, but I'm also lazy. I mean, I did go on a dating site a few months ago, and I met a few nice men, but it's very difficult for me to find chemistry with someone because, you know, when you're very emotionally intelligent and you know what you want and you've been around the block a few times, it's difficult. I'm not going to settle for a mediocre relationship. I'm just not.
Now, I'm just going to call you out on what you said before. You said the chemistry doesn't last. It's about the values. So we're going to go back to, do we have
No, but I think,
chemistry?
yeah, there has to be chemistry, Jacqueline. But what I'm saying, that intense sexual chemistry doesn't usually last, because then you get to know someone and you get comfortable. But there has to be a chemistry. You have to be with somebody that lights your fire in some way or another. Of course, of course. I mean, a lot of women will just go with a man because he's rich, or that gives them what they perceive as security. There's no such thing as security. Security is within inside of you. You know, nothing is guaranteed, nothing lasts forever. So you have to get real with yourself first before you can really attract that long-term, you know, forever partner.
Very true. And I've always thought that there's something really sexy about an intelligent guy, a funny guy, you know, someone who can make me laugh, someone I can sit and have conversations with. I really like
Totally.
to talk about business. That's just who I am. I love talking about the ins and outs of business. And when I find a guy who's not threatened by that, because many times, and I shouldn't use the word threat, but many times after a guy leaves work, he doesn't really want to talk about work anymore. Right. But I am in the throes of building and creating, and I just love talking about it, getting people's opinions, what they're doing, what's worked, what hasn't worked. So I don't know, maybe that's not very attractive.
I think you have to be who you are, and you will attract the right person, you know. That's very important. You just have to do you, because you are perfect just the way you are, and you'll attract that that right person for you. You know, do I believe in happily ever after? No. I believe that we meet people to learn the lessons that we need to learn, and then we move on. If you're lucky enough to grow and evolve together, then you can stay together. But if you're not growing and evolving at the same rate, then you're going to part ways at some point or another. I think marriage is an institution that needs to be done away with. I think it's very old. You know, we have all these values about relationship. Who told us that? You know, we're so ingrained in society and how governments want us to be and relate and all the rest of it. It's all just a load of nonsense. You're the driver. Excuse me, you're the driver in your life, and you have to create the life that you want, not what someone else tells you. I mean, it goes, you know, with the marriage vows. I what is that? I will obey till the day I die or something. What? I mean, you know, obey? I mean, what am I, a dog? No.
No.
Sorry.
I agree. I think when I got married, I had them take that out of the. But so here's a question I have for you. So I'm a baby boomer, and throughout my life, it was you get a job and you stay at that job from cradle to grave. And I actually worked for an organization, a huge telecommunications international global presence company, and I thought I would be there forever. But the generations today, the younger generations, I should say, no, it's about what can I learn from you in 2 years or a year, and I'm moving on. And it almost seems like in a lot of ways relationships are like that too. Back when you would stay with the same person, whether you liked it or you didn't, whether you were happy or not, whether you had children or you didn't. But now today it's kind of like, oh, I don't like the way you looked at me, or I don't like that car that you drive, or I don't like how you wear your lipstick, and then people are gone. So do you think there's some connection to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's evolution, basically. I mean, I think it's got a lot to do with evolution, and there's a lot of choice out there now. And with the way the internet is and social media, and, you know, we're living in an altered reality. But I think because women are more empowered, they realize that they don't need men for what they did 25 years ago. And we're all our own people now. So it's like, if this isn't serving me, I'm not going to stay in it. That is old, golden old values, you know. And why stay in a relationship if you're not happy? Because happiness is everything.
It's very true. And that's kind of where I am. I'm really happy with myself. I really love my life. And when I think back to how my life was when I was involved with other people, the guys, so much stress, so many questions to answer, so much just drama. And I'm not saying that all relationships are like that. And I'm sure I contributed to that as well. But I don't have any of that drama anymore. So I'm just
So that, yeah, I mean, when there's drama, they're not the right person. You know, you should be, when you're with the right person, there's harmony, there's love, there's respect, there's loyalty, there's communication. But so many relationships, people are just in them for the wrong reasons. And that is the big problem. So, you know, the more true to yourself you can be, and the more real you can be with yourself, and the more you understand yourself and what you need, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know where their boundaries are. They don't know what their values are. And it's really a time to explore that about yourself. And the more you know yourself, then you know what works for you and what doesn't.
brilliant. And Katrina, as we come to the end of our show, I'd really like for you to share with our viewers and our listeners how you can work with them and what are some of the services that you provide.
Okay, well, as I said, you know, the clearing, we can work on clearing issues in your relationship, and then that leads on to coaching. I do the tarot reading, which is very insightful. I don't do it so much as hocus pocus, tell me your future. I do it with, you know, hard questions that you want the answers to, and then that kind of turns into a coaching session. And so, yeah, these are the three basic things: the coaching, the healing, and the clearing and the tarot can all help you clarify what you want in a relationship and how to move forward to get to be the best you and to be with the best person for you. Because it's all about love and happiness and joy and laughter and fun. We don't need drama in our lives anymore. Why? How does it serve you? You know?
Very true. I kind of feel like the pandemic was a clearinghouse to get rid of all the
Big
drama.
time.
Yes.
Big. How many relationships ended in the pandemic?
Yes.
Because people had to get real. They had to live with that person probably more than they'd ever had to. And it reveals so many things. So it's a good thing, you know, and we're in a year, the 222 year of relationship, and everything that is not for your highest good will leave you, whether you're married, in a relationship, friendships. It's all about you coming into alignment so you can be your best self.
That's exciting. Yay. Tell us about this free course that you offer.
So I have an online course. There's 13 videos, I think, all talking about an introduction to holistic anti-aging and wellness. So I talk about essential oils, I talk about products, color therapy, crystal healing, emotional therapy. What else do I talk about? There's a few other things I can't remember. But yeah, it's free. You just sign up for it on my website, KATRINA'S, and you can download the videos. They're all about 15 to 25 minutes long, so not too much time out of your day. And there's some really great, valuable information there. So go ahead.
Well, thank you for providing that opportunity to our audience to take the course and really get to know themselves better and open our eyes to what our own behavior is, maybe what we're attracting and why, and how we can do some personal growth work and reach out to you.
Great. Yeah, we can't blame others now. We have to take responsibility for ourselves. And when you take full responsibility for your life, that's when you can really make changes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's so lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
And what time is it there in Dubai?
It is 8:15, so not too late.
That's what I thought. You're 8 hours ahead of us. But that did change, I think, before daylight savings. I think you were like 10 hours. Or no, you were traveling.
Yeah, that's when I was in the Maldives. I'll be going back to the Maldives on the 1st of May for 1 month.
How nice.
So
You
I might
excited?
have to, yeah, it's a different island now. So yeah, I'm excited to see something new.
Well, I loved how you sent us the videos when you were there before. That would be great to do that
Oh
again.
yes, I will. I will.
Fantastic.
But thank you, Dr. JACALYN. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I'll be in touch.
Great. Take
All right.
care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you to everyone who's watching us on the live, or if you're watching us on the replay. We just really appreciate having you here. I have a few announcements to share. The first is that our reunion show is coming up. And in case you're wondering what a reunion show is, it's an opportunity for anyone and everyone, whether you've been on the platform before or not, to promote your business, your service, your product, your book, your film, your music, your poem, your event. So if you're interested in being part of our event, it's May the 1st. We're live streaming for 6 hours. If you can't make it, you can actually meet with me and we can record in advance, or you can send in your own recording. We have a few people who've done that. So you get a 15-minute block of time that you are promoting yourself and whatever else it is that you have to offer. So if you're interested in doing that, you can find the link here in the comments. I'll be posting it very shortly. The other thing I want to share is that we have our elevated listening community. This is an opportunity for you really to learn how to get in touch with yourself through elevated listening tips, fitness tips, a guided meditation, as well as education that we share from our shows each week. So to join, you can go over to my other website, drjacalyn.com/join. Some other quick announcements. We are going to be very soon starting our show on Christianity. So we will be really focusing this program on bringing people of faith to the platform, and also people who have stories to share about how faith changed their lives. And my last comment for today is to join us if you can tomorrow for our first ever Talking Heads panel. We have a platform called Talking Heads, and this is where leading experts from around the world have their own 30-minute show. And here are some of our Talking Heads experts. And this is our panel, which is a smaller group, and they will be meeting for the first time here on StreamYard. And that will be tomorrow at 4 p.m., Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will be giving them the topic that they will be discussing as a panel literally 5 minutes before the show starts. So it should be very exciting. And our folks have some really strong opinions and personalities. So I will be moderating to make sure things don't get out of hand. And my final announcement, I have one more, is that we are excited to partner with Lamori Media. This is a PR firm. Tracy Lamori has been here for a couple of our shows. She will be featured this week. She is a celebrity publicist, and she will be on the Business Talk Show with Al Cini and myself on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You might be saying to yourself, oh, I wonder what a publicist does, or should I have a publicist, or what size business do I need to have in order to have a publicist? All these questions will be answered, but she is the official publicist for USA Global TV and radio, and also for myself, Dr. JACALYN. We will be offering special promotional pricing to all of our guests and team members who want to work with Tracy for their own businesses. Okay, that's all I have for today. I look forward to seeing you back here at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Leadership of the Heart. Thank you. Take care. Bye.